All right. My name is Chris, for the visitors in the classroom. I've been working in hearing conservation in the U.S. Air Force Reserve for the last 11 years. I've worked at the Orlando VA, or at the VA in audiology for the last 2 years. And one of the doctors that I work with is Dr. Maria Pizarro, who is served on the Florida Board of Speech Pathology, it's the Speech Language Pathology and Audiology for 7 consecutive appointments. Each appointment is a 2-year term, and she's been appointed 7 times. So she served 14 years in this on this board through several governors, and they've all reappointed her to the post. So, but it's, you know, it has garnered me some additional knowledge in addition to the hearing conservation training that I've learned through the Air Force Reserve. And hearing conservation is about noise, and noise is basically just a sound that is loud or an unpleasant sound, and which the sound then is a mechanical radiant energy that is transmitted by longitudinal pressure waves in a medium such as air, and is the objective cause of hearing. That is the definition that is given by Merriam-Webster in their dictionary. The way that we hear is by those pressure waves entering through our ear canal here, traveling down the ear canal to the tympanic membrane of the eardrum, where it's converted into mechanical energy, and as that eardrum bounces back and forth, it then moves and causes these bones to oscillate and creates another wave here, and that mechanical energy is now transferred into the energy in the inner ear, which is filled with a fluid that goes through the hair cells, or by the hair cells, and that is now converted into an electrical energy that is then picked up by the auditory nerve and transported to the brain, where you hear it as a sound, a cricket, or paper dropping, or a tree falling, or the car starting. So that's what, you know, how the mechanism of the ear actually works. The inner ear, or inside of the cochlea, is the hair cells. These hair cells on this slide is a normal, healthy ear. That is a person that can hear very well, that has not been introduced to a whole lot of noise. And on this side over here, you have ears where these arrows are pointing at, is where all the dead cells, or the dead hair cells on the inner ear are, which is causing you not to be able to hear certain frequencies of sound. Because as the waves come through this portion of the inner ear, it bounces through, and it bounces like, you know, in a true wave, kind of like over at the beach as it comes up onto the shore. You have the troughs and the crests. Well, it comes in and it hits, and as it bounces off and hits the sides of the wall. And as it does that frequently and more often, those hair cells die off. So with that, you have the need to help conserve your hearing loss, or your hearing, and in that is the Hearing Conservation Program. OSHA defines the Hearing Conservation Program as a program designed to protect workers with significant occupational noise exposures from hearing impairment, even if they are subject to such noise exposures over their entire working lifetimes. So one of the other reasons why this is so important is because these cells do not grow back. Once you lose that hearing and lose that ability to register those frequencies, you can't get that back. You will not hear it back. The only thing that you can do after that is, which I've learned in audiology, is the use of a hearing aid. But unfortunately, with the hearing aid, you can't get that back. All they're doing is taking the sounds in this frequency right here and putting it down here so that you can possibly hear it there. But that's really not helping you to hear any better. All it's doing is aiding in the hearing that you already have by compensating, you know, the frequencies you've lost somewhere else. So it's not really an aid, it's more of a crutch. You know, it's not a cure. Hearing loss, noise-induced hearing loss, which is what I'm trying to talk to you about today, that is the hearing loss that we're talking about, and it is the number one cause of hearing loss that is preventable by you yourself. You have the control to determine whether or not you're going to lose your hearing by that sound or not. And it's simply by using tools, and some of those tools are displayed here, but what other actions can you use or do to keep your hearing, and preserve it, by yourself?
Don't listen to music so loud?
Don't listen to music so loud. The earphones in your cell phone or on your MP3 player, when you've got those directly inside your ear canal and you turn it up really, really loud, and you can hear, if you see somebody sitting down, halfway down the hallway and you can hear it, and you can hear it clearly, that's way too loud in their ears, and they're guaranteed going to lose their hearing for, a lot sooner than they would have had they had those in their ear, listening to a very audible sound that they can hear it and still be able to hear somebody that's having a normal volume conversation sitting right next to them. And that's at the level that you should be listening to MP3 players or something like that with earphones into your ear. So some of these tools, hearing protection devices that you can wear when you're in loud noises, are earmuffs, which are displayed up here at the top, or you can use earplugs, which are displayed down here at the bottom. The earmuffs are a little more expensive than earplugs, but they don't necessarily always have the same hearing protection that you can get, which is the noise reduction rating, which you can see up here on the package. On that one is 31, and on these phone plugs down here is a 32. So the price difference also is about 20 bucks. Some of them are about 10, as compared to this packet, Sports Authority, was $47, and these over here are a couple dollars more, but excuse me, 47 cents, and those are $2 or $3, in expense too. But they have almost exactly the same type of hearing protection rating than what those earmuffs do at the top. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to conserve your hearing. You can actually spend something a lot less expensive and still do the same thing and achieve the same goal. This is a chart of common noise levels, the different things. You have up here at the very top, you have a rocket launch at about 180 decibels. That's probably measured, a little bit away in a safe zone, but it's still really loud. Right underneath that is a shotgun fire at 170 decibels. And then down here at 90, here you have at 120, which is the human pain threshold. You have thunder, rock concerts, sports stadiums. The ambulance siren is about 112. Your lawnmower is about 90. So the normal conversation is usually about 40 decibels. So that's where different sound levels are. Okay. And then also here is a timed exposure for the different decibel levels. So OSHA says at 85 decibels, you should be able to stay in that level of sound for 8 hours before having any kind of rest period mandatory. Whereas down here at 115 decibels, approximately 30 seconds. And after that, you start experiencing permanent damage. So, I want you to please, take into consideration your own hearing. I implore you to use hearing protection devices when you use a lawnmower or other motorcycle or things like that. When you go out to a range, if you shoot guns, please use your hearing protection. It is one of the only organs in your body that does not regenerate itself, over time. It is very important that you take care of yourself in this aspect. However, if you choose not to follow my advice, here's what you'll look forward to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.